The bathroom door was locked when I first entered the room. I checked it twice, convinced it hadn't been opened in years. But sometime after midnight, as I sat frozen on the bed, I watched the handle tremble. Slowly, it turned, grinding against the lock, and the door creaked open into darkness. A voice whispered my name from inside, though I was alone. But to understand how I ended up there, I need to take you back. It was supposed to be just another stop on my trip. Every other hotel in the area was either full or overpriced, so when I spotted this small, outdated building tucked between a diner and a gas station, I figured I'd found a lucky break. The lobby looked harmless enough: faded wallpaper, a flickering light overhead, and a desk where a receptionist typed on an old computer. She smiled politely, but her eyes didn't quite match the gesture. When I asked for a room, she hesitated, her fingers lingering on the keyboard. For a moment, she seemed to be considering whether to say something. Finally, she slid the key across the counter. "Room 6, she murmured, but before I could thank her, she paused. Just a beat too long, her gaze flickering as if she knew something I didn't. And like an idiot, I ignored it. Room 6 smelled wrong the moment I stepped inside. Not just old, but heavy, like mildew mixed with something metallic, something sour. The wallpaper curled in long strips, and the air felt colder than the hallway outside. My eyes caught the doorframe, deep scratches carved into the wood, like someone had tried clawing their way out. I told myself it was just wear and tear, but unease tightened in my chest. The television flickered, buzzing faintly even though it wasn't plugged in, and when I glanced at the mirror, my reflection seemed half a second too slow. On my way back to the lobby for extra towels, an older staff member brushed past me and muttered under his breath, "People don't last in that room." By the time I turned to question him, he was gone. The strangeness didn't stop at whispers or shadows. Around midnight, the lights blinked once, twice, then died, plunging the room into a suffocating darkness. I fumbled for my phone, but before I could turn on the flashlight, the room phone rang. Its shrill tone cut through the silence like a scream. My hand shook as I lifted the receiver. "Hello." My voice cracked. Only silence answered, then a faint static hiss, followed by the softest exhale, like someone breathing right beside me. I dropped the phone, heart pounding, and stumbled toward the mirror. My reflection stood rigid, unblinking, lagging behind every move I made. I waved my arm in desperation, and the reflection smiled a second too late. I told myself it was faulty wiring, bad dreams, stress, anything to keep the fear at bay. But deep down, I knew better. Because when the television flickered on by itself, through the static I saw a shadow standing behind me. And then I realized I wasn't alone in that room. The air in the room thickened until it felt like I was breathing through water. The walls seemed to pulse with a low groan, alive, like they'd absorbed centuries of screams. Suddenly, the bed jerked beneath me, shaking so violently I nearly fell to the floor. "Stop!" I shouted, though at who, or what, I didn't know. The door slammed shut with a deafening crack, and the lock twisted on its own. I lunged at it, yanking the handle, but it refused to budge. My pulse thundered in my ears. Then came the voice. A whisper, so close I felt the breath brush my skin. It said my name. Slowly. Deliberately. The mirror darkened, and from its surface, something began to crawl forward, a figure with hollow eyes, its movements jerky and unnatural. I stumbled back, pressing against the wall as the floorboards groaned under invisible weight. Every light bulb shattered in unison, glass raining down like ice. The shadows swallowed me whole, and in that suffocating dark, the thing leaned close enough to let me hear the rasp of its teeth. When I finally got out, when I finally stumbled out, the sky was just beginning to lighten. My legs shook as I dragged myself down the hall, desperate for the lobby's fluorescent glow. The receptionist glanced up as if I'd merely asked for a late checkout. Her voice was flat, almost rehearsed. "Room 6. Most don't make it through the night." She handed me my bill like nothing had happened. I wanted to demand answers, but the words caught in my throat. As I left, I noticed an old corkboard near the exit, filled with photos of missing travelers. None of them looked older than me. I told myself I was free once I got home. But the first thing I saw when I opened my suitcase were claw marks, deep and jagged, etched into the fabric. And last night, I dreamed of that room again. I don't think it's done with me yet. If you ever see a hotel offering room 6 at half price, don't take it. Trust me, nothing you'd save is worth the price you'll pay. But now I want to know, would you spend a night there? Drop your theories in the comments, and I might read the scariest one in my next video. Until then, sleep tight, and remember, some doors should never be opened.